Have you ever wondered if one day
this is not a war of bullets. This is a war of will.
the enemy does not come from the stars?
And humanity's weapon is not steel. It is hope.
This disaster will not end in destruction. It will end by redefining what reality is.
It all began with small signs, cracks on the surface of reality that no one noticed.
Language, the foundation of thought, began to lose its fixed meaning. Time was no longer a river. It had become a broken loop.
The line between art and nature was erased.
The earth was losing its direction, both literally and figuratively.
The connection between people began to be interfered with by memories that belonged to no one.
The inanimate world began to reflect the inner world.
Even the laws of biology began to follow a new logic, the logic of dreams.
Reality had become an unstable color palette.
Gravity, the most fundamental law, had become more of a suggestion than a rule.
The power of creation was no longer limited by matter.
The human mind was beginning to synchronize.
Even the cosmos was not immune to the fragmentation of reality.
The nervous systems of the cities were waking up.
The knowledge of humanity was freeing itself from its confinement. The moment was frozen permanently. Human technology was returning to its most primitive state. Reality was losing its richness, being simplified to a minimum. The existence of the individual was fading.
And then, reality didn't just crack anymore, it shattered.
The collective fear of humanity, suppressed for millennia, had found an escape.
It wasn't just dreams. It was nightmares. And they were hunting.
The fear of heights of millions of people had created a scar on the face of the earth.
The human habitat now turned against them.
The most primal fear was magnified to an unimaginable scale.
Even the deepest places were not safe. The fear of the unknown was rising.
The fear of being watched had turned nature into a terrifying audience. The fear of failure and missed opportunities became a physical prison. It wasn't the monster, but the uncertainty of it that was the most terrifying.
The greatest enemy was now oneself.
The fear of ignorance and oblivion was becoming a reality.
History was weeping for the lost reality.
The fear of sickness and death was reshaping the places of healing.
Innocent childhood memories were being distorted into something unsettling.
The ocean, the source of life, now only displayed death.
The connections that humans created were being tested by unseen forces.
Industrial pollution now carried the pain of the planet.
The dream realm was not just rising, it was watching, it was learning.
It was watching.
The way out had become part of the trap.
The fear of judgment now had an entire auditorium. The fear of decay and endings was covering the world.
The dream realm had found its king, a god born from despair. Unity became the strongest shield.
They didn't just protect, they also healed. Happy memories became a cleansing weapon.
They learned not to follow logic of nightmare, but to create their own.
The third protocol, amplification. To fight collective fear, they needed collective hope.
The beacon of hope had been lit. The dream realm fought back. It did not accept the existence of hope. Imagination became the cavalry.
They didn't just fight for the future. They protected the present.
Knowledge was passed down. This war would last for generations.
A global effort, transcending all borders and differences.
They transformed the chaos of knowledge into a new order.
They used hope to heal the sky.
The strength of one individual could fight back the fear of thousands.
They fought fear with curiosity.
Transformation, not destruction, was the key.
They turned a trap into a work of art.
Everything was ready for the final act.
Not one individual, not one nation, but all of humanity. The final attack was not an act of war. It was a declaration. That was the final protocol. Harmony.
The dream realm was not destroyed. It was integrated. Chaos had been tamed into beauty.
New laws of physics were established, based on harmony instead of rigidity.
The mark of each individual could now be seen.
Positivity had become a common language.
The planet was now a mirror, reflecting the soul of humanity.
Earth was reborn.
They had become the gardeners of a new world. The nightmare had passed, making way for shared dreams.
Humanity did not win or lose. They evolved.
An eternal legacy of the nightmare singularity.